right, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Princes of Azemar, Season 5, Episode 2, Hordes.
Ooh.
I am your DM, Jake Cordero, and let's go ahead and start with a round of intros. In the top left, played by Lily and Alex, they're the twin blacksmith fighters. They're the Eldris brothers. You've probably heard of them.
Yes.
I named my biceps Theo and Eridan.
In the top right, played by our friend Bobby, it is the warlock with more vices than virtues, Quaros Ravenrock.
But not gluttony. I am currently eating a salad.
Nice.
Oh, look at you. You're much healthier than me.
I think you could still eat a lot of salad and it would still be gluttony.
That's true.
You have to eat a lot of salad.
It's a pretty big
Yeah,
bowl you're
I don't-
holding there.
I'm not entirely convinced that salad ever counts as being
Gluttonous
gluttonous.
rabbit.
All right, in the bottom left, played by Nicole, the paladin of Ilmater, Irina.
Woo!
Morning, what's better?
Nah, man.
And last but not least, the dragon from the, I was going to say Far East, but it's actually the West, because it would have rhymed. It is the dragon formerly known as Dirt Courage, Nadam Nazir. There's a middle name in there that I skipped, and I wanted
That's
to
for
say
his
three
friends.
names. Nadam
Ilrio.
Nazir.
Bobby said it last time and I can't stop hearing it. The Adele Nazim. Oh no, Brandon said it last time. And I'm like, I just hear that now. Which is
I think Nadam should have like just a low-key drinking issue, so we can just introduce him as the dragon with the flagon.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Done.
That's one of the things that got left
Or-
behind at Wakanga's, and now he's got it.
Or a big ass, we can call him the dragon with the wagon.
Hey.
You know he's got cake.
Or a bad internet connection.
He's the lagging dragon.
Oh.
Or if he likes to do yard work, he's a drake with a rake.
All right, all right.
All right.
We are missing our friend in Brandon, who would be playing Burnham Shortwick. What?
Puns.
Just the rhyming.
But he will be back next week for the next episode. So let's do a quick last time on Princes of Azemar, which you can go watch on our Facebook or on our YouTube to catch up. You all had come with the dwarves to the city of Orem, where you made some alliances with these various the merchant princes of Orem and also the refugees from West Azemar who were in Orem, and you have all together made a pact to ride across the Tarir Bridge, to sail across the Oria Sea, and to go take back the city of Angate from the orcs that had conquered it, and to take back the rest of West Azemar, which has been similarly conquered by orcs. As you got close to the city on that bridge, you're maybe a day's ride out, Rogar, the current king of the dwarves, pulled you in for a meeting, showed you a map of the city, and said, look, we're going to teleport you in there early. We need you to take out the catapults, because those are preventing us, the ships, from getting near. We need you to open the gates so that, you know, the human armies on the bridge can get into the city.
So the cavalry can come kick ass.
We need you to mayhaps communicate with the survivors in the fort to the north that are still being held out against the orcs, so that perhaps the chain could be lowered and the ships could ride in down the river and attack the city from behind. And lastly, any sort of discord you can sow or chaos you can create among the orcs to weaken their response to this attack. And I think that's where we left y'all.
Show chaos. Burn catapults.
Or
Help
capture
starving
catapults.
Yeah.
Open doors.
There. Open the door.
Uh,
Open the door.
Burnham Shortwick, your new dwarven wizard friend, specifically suggested that the sewers and the tunnels underneath the lower city side of Angate could perhaps be collapsed with the proper application of magic and explosives.
Cone loves tunnels.
Yep.
I think that's an excellent plan, but we shouldn't open with that. But I do think we should keep that as an option.
It'll probably be loud and draw attention.
I'm mostly concerned we don't want to begin this, I'm assuming, long and bloody war of conquest with destroying these people's homes.
He makes a good point. It could be refortified if we're able to take it with minimal damage to the structures.
But
I'm a
if we have
dragon
to,
boy.
if we have to collapse it, we collapse it.
Baronum suggests, and I'm not going to try and do his voice, that
Lame.
we could collapse particular structures.
It's like the perfect blend of what Brandon was doing in Rogar.
Yeah.
Instead of
I
the
think-
city at large.
I think that's a fantastic idea. It's going to be damage. It's a war.
Yeah. Which structures would we want to, just so we have that in mind for if it comes to that?
Well, if we get the right explosives, we could prime them underneath various structures and collapse as needed.
I think that's
Maybe
the best.
arena. There might be a lot of them there.
Agreed.
Let's
Um,
take 20 each, just in case.
Boom.
And he says, are any of you trained in the operation of dwarven explosives?
I believe this is going to be a job for dwarven sappers after we lower that
I
chain
like to
and
learn
can
on
get
the
people into the
job,
city.
that's for sure.
He says, I think I'll hold on to the explosives for now.
Damn it, Jim. Have all the fun.
I would like to turn to Rogar and make a suggestion.
Yes.
It's important the orcs don't know where our main attack is going to be coming from.
Agreed.
I think it would be a good idea to wait on the bridge with siege engines, fortifications, anything to make it look like we may chance a frontal assault. So that they either keep troops there, sacrificing the defense in the north, when we come in from the sea, or moving troops away from the gate to defend from the north, so we may attack from the south. Either way, they have to split their forces.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
He says it'll all depend on which of the objectives you're able to achieve. And he
Exactly
says,
right.
my mages have put together some of these. And he pulls out a little chest and he opens it. And inside you see a series of, they look like little balls of wax. So this is almost clear, transparent wax. And in the center, suspended in the wax, you see a small stone with some sort of rune on it. And he says, they're sending stones. And he takes one and you see him picks it up and he puts it into his ear and he molds the wax in.
Oh my god.
This is amazing.
It's so cool.
Give me your pieces, guys.
Nadam takes one.
He passes them out to you. And he tests them out.
I'm wary, obviously.
And you see he just touches his ear and his mouth doesn't move, but you hear his voice plain as day.
Excellent.
That's a neat trick.
It's in my head.
I don't like it either, brother.
Do we have private channels? Like, can we gossip about other members of the party, or how does this work?
Ooh, let's test it. I tried to privately.
Chorus looks like a goat.
You
Yeah,
absolutely hear it. It's a full.
I'm like, he totally does.
It's a fully open channel.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate that.
Greatest
Hey.
of all time.
Testing is very important in science.
Excellent. This teleportation circle we'll be using, how accurate is it?
My wizards assure me within a couple of yards we'll have you on the point.
We're gonna wind up in Omu.
I'll take it.
Not again. We
Back
ended up in that,
outside.
that room that
Walk
you
out
guys
of the
ended up when you
jungle.
tried to teleport inside the tomb.
I'll take this quick moment to show the viewers the city of Angate. Let's zoom out a little bit. So y'all can't see what I'm showing the viewers, but we've got to the north, there's this fort up here.
Wait.
And that is the area that is still held by some soldiers. There are orcs, with some, along this bridge, which is actually raised currently, and a few along the docks harassing the fort and thinking of ways to get in. Looking a little further
Armory
south.
Barracks Jail, obviously named for Colonel Armory Barracks Jail, the Honorable Barracks Jail family. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I will make no more comments about the map.
Like the Schweitzer Falls joke.
There's
I really want there to be a family now that is named that, and it will literally give me so much life.
His
There-
name is Armory, and his last name is Barracks Jail.
Right, no, he's got Roman naming conventions. He's got a nomen, a cognomen, and whatever the third one is.
There's a park here where the Bard's Call used to be at the edge of the governor's palace. Currently, that is where the catapults are set up, and trebuchets and other, siege
sorry.
weapons of war that flame
Trebuchets and
things
catapults are Bard College, right?
at the park there. Yeah.
Sick.
Looking a little further to the south, a lot of orcs hanging out by this arena here. A lot of these temples are probably trashed to bits. And then up here is the upper city. This is sort of a raised plateau, a little hill. And this is where the bridge lands, at this large building that is traditionally used for customs and, levying taxes on goods going in and out of the city. But now it looks like it's been fortified and the gates have been sealed. Yeah, and so that's all the different bits and pieces in the city. If folks have questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Okay.
The scale is accurate?
I've
At least
decided so
nearly
for now. Nearly for now. I reserve the right to totally change the scale later.
You are God. I point at the cool sand table, and I say, might I propose a plan?
Ooh,
Listening.
yeah, the cool sand table.
I point at the slums south of the stables, and I say, I propose we teleport here. I expect with the whole city at their disposal, there wouldn't be many living in the worst part of the town. I think we may be able to hide there and
Seems
lance out from
reasonable.
there.
Is there any chance that we would be thrown so off course by the teleportation that we would accidentally end up in the arena? I have no sense of scale.
That's pretty far. He only said a few yards.
Yeah.
That's about 1,000 feet to the arena, or so. Then I propose that we gather intelligence. We hide using Koros' magic or Baranum's magic. We slip into the arena, learn about who the orcs follow. Are there any factions within their ranks?
Oh, for the chaos part.
I suggest staging some preferably dishonorable murders.
I don't know what dishonorable to them is
Me
exactly.
neither. I'm thinking arrows in the back.
Okay.
Something to cause turmoil within the ranks. But we'll have to make that up when we get there. Regardless, from there, I think we move to the trebuchets and disable them, capturing if possible. If not, we destroy them. And from there, we hightail it, because we will have kicked the hornet's nest after that, to Fort Armory Barracks Jail.
Counter.
Hopefully, General
Uh-huh.
Fort Army Barracks Jail is still alive.
Would it possibly be better?
Just General Army Barracks Jail.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Would it possibly be better? Not better. Is it possible to split into 2 teams?
Potentially. I'm worried about.
The reason I ask is because I've one idea and we can ignore it. I don't have many ideas, so this is the one I've got. But if we went to the Barracks Jail Armory first and told the guys, we were like, hey, lower the chain when you see the crazy plumes of fire when we've lit the trebuchets. And then it would be like happening kind of at the same time the ship's coming in, the catapults being destroyed. That would all be happening very close to each other.
We could
I
just
can
send that message
do that-
anyway.
yeah.
Without
Okay,
I
so
can
we
do
just
that
do
with
that?
Animal Messenger. Yeah.
Oh, sick balls! Let's do that. That's amazing. Great, go team.
You also have sending stones.
But they only
Can we
work to
send
other
stuff to
sending
them?
stones, don't they?
Yeah.
Rogar has one.
No. We're
No, we're
saying
talking about the.
yeah.
We're talking about to the General Army Barracks Jail.
Oh. Got it.
I think we can magic that.
And Rogar will tell you may begin your amphibious assault from the north.
Yeah.
I think one thing we might want to consider is we have these explosives. If we're going to the arena first, what about planning them at the arena.
Mm.
And then once if either something goes really wrong, we can have that as a distraction.
Yeah.
Or if the attack starts or something like that, we can blow that up, maybe kill some of their people or distract some of their people.
I think those are fantastic other options. No plan survives contact with the enemy.
All right, spell people, wizard types.
That's us.
What are anybody who has stuff that I don't know anything about? What are our options if we wanted to like relay that message that we talked about to the people at the army barrack jail place?
I have Animal Messenger.
We also have class feature can just talk, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So
or
we
rather, I can talk through him.
right, your voice comes out. We could
Use a
use
squawk box.
class feature. Now, what could we say to them as class feature or ourselves to convince them to listen to us? To be like, when you see the plumes of smoke go up at the trebuchets and catapults, lower the
We
chains.
just want them to let the dwarven ships in.
Right.
They'll see the dwarven ships.
Okay.
Yeah. And that everything's on fire.
Right. Okay, cool. Sounds good. So we'll send class feature over there to relay that message. We will also tell all the ship people, when you see that fire, that's the signal. The chains should be lowered right then unless something goes horribly amiss, and you can roll right in. And that will be pretty chaotic.
Yeah.
And then I think we move in advance of the assaulting dwarves, sowing chaos behind the lines to get to the
Totally.
gate. But that's for later.
Totally. I'm with you.
Open the gates, people swarm in, we take Endgate, sack the city.
But we've already opened the gates.
Does Arena seem
Why are we just
Oh.
taking a gate?
Does
Thank you.
Arena seem responsible enough that the dwarf guy will relent and give her some of the explosives?
Is who?
Does
Burnham.
Arena seem responsible enough?
No, Barnum's not giving up any explosives.
Dang
Oh, is he
it!
going with us though?
He's going with
This
you.
is Nicole
Oh,
thing.
is Brandon coming tonight?
Brandon is not. Burnham is.
Okay.
This is a Nicole thing. The like chemist part of me really wants to blow stuff up.
Absolutely. Burnham is being very tight with the explosives.
Okay, that's fair.
Woo! Okay. Let's
Just off screen take a shot of wasabi.
look at me. Eat the whole thing. Trying to clear my nose. Okay, so I agree with Nazir's advice. I think that teleporting by the stables is a good idea. Barnum can lay those explosives by the arena, and we can stealthily make our way to the catapult, trebuchet area, and disable those.
Sabotage.
I kind of like the idea of turning them on the arena.
Yeah,
That may be a good idea.
We could
I
turn
think
them
we can
on the
do that.
arena.
that's
Oh! Okay. Save the explosives. We trebuchet catapult the arena, and then we blow them up.
Uh,
So they can't be used again.
uh, uh. Not the worst idea.
Cloris, do you have any magic that could bend other people to your will?
In a manner of speaking, yeah.
Either way, though, that doesn't change the teleporting the stables because it's likely to be the least defended, whereas the trebuchet catapults will still be somewhat defended.
I've got a little smorgasbord of charm and suggestion magic.
I think that will be
I did
useful.
once.
Yeah, that could be very helpful.
Actually, I don't have charm, but I have mass suggestion, which is nice. That could come in handy, yeah.
Theo also has the ability to order folks around.
I do, but don't they have to be like friendly to me?
We'll see.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
They'd be friendly. If they're friendly to you, I typically will not make them roll saves.
So I say we teleport into the slums near the stables.
Yep.
I'm with you.
Sounds good.
Step one.
All right. What
Dirk's got
time
his-
of day would you like to teleport?
Night.
Hell yeah. Night.
How late at night?
Uh,
Right after dark?
I ask
Late.
Rogar what his intelligence suggests about the habits of the orcs.
Orcs all sleep at different times. It seems very chaotic in the city as far as you can tell.
okay.
All right.
So there's orcs awake at all times of night.
And I say we
Notice,
just
like,
take
any
advantage of
massive-
darkness.
Like any massive amounts of partying happening at the arena at any particular time. They like have like a sundown festival where they, spill some people's guts in the sand.
It ebbs and flows throughout.
It's a constant row.
They're always spilling people's guts in the sand.
They come out with the Zamboni every couple hours.
Clean up the blood.
The sand bony. Then I say middle of the night, like 1 a.m.,
All right.
maybe 2.
You all
Yeah, it sounds good to me.
rest up, get prepared, and then at
I can't think of any more equipment I want, so does anybody else want any specific equipment?
You know what? I think we should all have a rope with that shit that can...
Grappling hooks?
Yep, that. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
I think we should all have those. Can dwarves give us those? Just for today, short-term loan. No strings attached.
Yeah, I think if you, that's easy. That's yeah.
The string attached being we don't fuck this up royally.
Everybody can have. If you already have rope, they can just give you the head of a grappling hook that you can tie your
Yeah.
rope to. If you have
know,
lost
even-
your rope, as many of
There's
you have,
walls! There's walls.
you can have a new 50-foot rope with a grappling hook on the end.
Sick, yo.
Yeah, I just want, adventuring gear, because we're going to be setting up our little camp. Oh, can I get, some camouflage netting?
That's not a. Depends very heavily on what you're camouflaged into, right?
I want, like a big, ugly sheet of canvas.
You want Sam and Frodo's cloak.
Really, you want that? I was about to say.
A big ugly sheet of canvas can be found easily.
Cool, got that.
There's, it's a sailing ship.
Nice. Okay, great.
It's totally not the sails that are doing.
Anybody else think of anything?
It's the old ready sails.
Yep.
Do we have peeling potions? Medical kits?
Do we have healing potions? We
You still have
healing
medical kits. You don't have healing
we
potions.
have 2. No, we have 3 still from the journey. Either me or Airden should probably have 1, and then the other 2, I don't really care where they go. Airden,
Well,
you can have a healing kit.
I don't need
Yeah,
one.
did you ever get your throwing axes back? I feel like you should have a ranged weapon for today, just in case.
I did not get my throwing axes back.
You have new throwing axes from the
Amazing.
dwarves.
Wow, this is a really big day for us. Okay.
Cool.
I knew this deal would pay off. Rope, axes.
I want a climber's
all the
kit.
time.
Climber's kit. You got
Cool.
it.
I'm happy now.
Caltrops.
Can I have camo?
Airden, do you want caltrops?
Yes.
All right, you have
Oh,
caltrops.
wait! What's the
Titans.
no the ball bearings? Can I have those?
Oh, God.
Home Alone.
Please.
Yes, you have ball bearings and you have caltrops.
Best day
Nice.
ever. Okay,
Oh, we're gonna have so much fun.
girl. Okay, you don't even know. There was this whole period where I had 1,000 ball bearings and I never had a good time to use them, and I was like, "Is it time now?"
It was Azemar, and you held on to them until the finale, where you spilled them on the roof with the final boss, and he slipped on them.
Fucking awesome!
Amazing.
I didn't even remember that till you said it. So go me.
All right.
Okay,
Everybody ready?
I'm ready.
cool.
Let's do it.
Montage.
So
Get
we have grappling hooks. I got my hand axes back. And
All right, we're moving on.
Was
So,
there something else we all had? Wait, was there something else we all had? Oh, who is taking the healer's kits? We should say so that later Jake's not mad about it.
Everybody has one.
Give one to the wizard.
everybody has one.
Okay.
It's the Left 4 Dead
Sweet.
refill room. We each get one.
It's your trauma kit.
Okay.
Great. So, you guys all get ready in this circle. The wizards all start their casting. They've got staves. There's some candles lit. The runes start to glow. Everything starts to shake and vibrate from your perspective. But you don't. You see that no one else seems to be losing their step or anything. And suddenly, you find yourselves standing on various spots around this sort of favela-like slums that are built into the side of this hill. There's different shapes and sizes of houses. There's little bridges across things. Everything is ramshackle and worn down. Let's see. Why doesn't everybody give me let's say a dexterity saving throw?
And then
I'm not the best at those.
if you're within however many feet of me,
Drop down!
Yes.
Oh yeah, wait. What do we get?
10 feet, you get a +4, I think. Let me
All right.
check.
So
No
it's
one
actually
is
24.
within 10 feet of Irina.
Sick.
Really?
They're all a little spread out.
Dang it, man.
Alright.
Gotta do me like that.
You get a +4 for being 10 feet within you?
Nope.
So,
I mean, I automatically get it.
you guys appear on all sorts of uneven ground with, several yards from each other. Let's say Irina, you find yourself suddenly on a roof, and this
fall.
roof, yeah, it's got some like
The tiles give out.
tiles, yeah, giving out, and they just start breaking, and you start sliding down it. Theo and Aridin, you find yourselves on two different bridges that are at different heights. One of you appears just right at the edge of it with one foot off the side, and let's see what else. Nadam, you find yourself inside one of these slummy houses. Various stuff around. No people there. Koros, you're just standing on sort of the ridge on some of the, not even on some of the structures built here, just on a rock jutting out of the side of the hill. With just enough room for you to stand. Bernum is nowhere to be seen.
Rip.
Comms. Bernum, come in. Bernum, where are you?
It's coming in staticky and thick, like it's coming from far away, and he says, where are you? And he goes, I'm sewers.
Oh. Bye-bye, wizard. Okay. So...
And he says, you hear explosives arena.
So I think he's going
arena
off
or
to-
an arena?
No, because we were gonna do explosives on the catapults.
Exactly, he says, Aridin.
I ask Barnum if he's hurt.
You hear static. It's hard to tell. His voice didn't sound pained.
Okay.
Okay. Well, once everyone is within 30 feet of me, I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace.
All right. It's also, here it is, though it's night, it is cloudy, and there's just a soft drizzle going.
Good, that'll soften the sound.
Plus 10.
Yeah.
You do see, it does appear to be making some of the rock and stones a little slick, a little bit you see these little teensy mudslides happening here and there, just as little bits.
Visibility is limited.
Yep.
Perfect. Can I wave down people?
Yeah, so you look, you step outside of this little hut that you're in, and you're actually the lowest down on the hill, and you look up, you see Theo and Aridin on different bridges, you see Irina clutching onto the side of a roof, and Quaros just right there on a rock.
Chilling. Raven Rock.
Chilling.
Rock.
Is there an obvious place we can all link up?
It's not super obvious because there's different layers, and this is just has been built haphazardly over time.
I can say with sending stones not out loud, be let's all go inside that house you were in.
But yeah, everyone can it's easy for everyone to head down to you because they have a better view.
Okay.
And we won't be out.
Let's do that then.
May I just be sure there's no one else around?
Yeah, you can take a look around. From up here, you have a pretty good view over some of the city, at least. You can see that there are torch lights around and filling the arena. Much further than that,
That's definitely the brightest point.
that's definitely the brightest point. You think that there may also be some bright lights. That's about as much as you can make out through the rain. Over by the park, there might be more bright lights that way.
Where the catapult trebuchets are.
Yes.
Once. Koros,
Yo.
can you have your bird scout to make sure we're alone?
Yeah. Oh, circles. Classic bird stuff.
Classic bird maneuver.
Bird does some searching, flying around. Your bird sees a few orcs throughout the slums. Some of them are, just they'll kick open a door and then they're looking for maybe something to scavenge or something. But none are in your immediate vicinity, and there's very few. As your bird flies a little further out over the city, in the city proper, there's a lot more of them. And they appear to be just sort of carousing about. Some are, fighting each other in the streets a bit, but all, fun and games. Others are have got big old flagons of ale and are coming out of what definitely was once a tavern. Things like that. It appears to not be much order. You see, as your bird flies out, the sort of ruins of some buildings. Definitely things that have burnt down, chunks of the city where there was fire. And those appear to be pretty empty, the areas where everything's burnt down. The orcs just sort of zigzag around them to the various, large landmarks that are still all right.
Yeah, we're good for a while. I'll keep the bird up and just have it ping me if one of those carousing groups starts to get close.
All right.
Do you guys want to head straight for the park?
I thought we were going to the arena first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or were we?
I thought we were going to leave the bombs at the trebuchets, was Theo's
We were
plan.
going to catapult the arena to destroy it, and then at the same time explode the trebuchets.
I think
Sorry,
that's
say it
probably a very good plan, but I still think we should learn a little more first.
So
Well,
you
why
thought
don't
it was
we-
recon by the arena.
What were you going to say, Koros?
Why don't we just grab one of those parties that's wandering around drunk in the dark and just sweat them for some information?
I think that's an excellent start.
We do have a nice place to work right here.
Yeah, let's not leave the base till we have to.
Yeah.
Koros, can you muffle sound with your magic?
That one I don't think I can do.
Didn't
That'd be a
Zara-
neat trick, though.
Vernon disappeared.
I can just walk quietly.
But I worry about interrogating them making noise.
Yeah, that I don't have a solid answer for. It's a good point.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything either.
Well, I think we could just double up on the mass ingestion-y thing. Koros can start in, and then I'll finish up.
Good cop, bad cop.
Don't want to waste it.
Yeah,
Do we want to try one of us sneaking into the arena and observing for a while?
We could
This
try
is a
that.
bird too.
You could also just send the bird. Or the bird
Yeah.
and me.
Yeah.
Of course, if you could turn me into something,
Yeah, I can do that.
I can understand them. I can understand Orcish.
Yeah, why don't I turn you just into another raven?
Can you speak it, or can you just understand it?
I can speak and be understood. I don't
Got it.
know if they think I'm speaking Orcish, or if they're just like, how do I understand you?
Gotcha.
But I'll understand.
Looking up your disguise other.
I figured he'd polymorph me.
Yeah, that's what I figured as well.
Sheep. Somebody put a moon over the Dom's
We
head.
can't hear you when you walk away, Bobby.
Sorry. Polymorph you into a nice little bird.
Cool.
Cute Tweety bird.
Oh, you're gonna be a bird. Okay.
Yeah, another raven. You just send 2 ravens out.
Cool.
So Odin.
I will point out that you could also polymorph him into an orc.
Can you do that? They're not beasts.
Oh, it's the
Yeah,
only
I
beast.
actually can't do that.
Ah, never
If he knew
mind.
true polymorph, he could turn me into an orc permanently.
All right, never mind.
If you think about it, it would be funny.
All right.
Take one for the team.
How long does your spell last, Boros?
I think polymorph is either an hour or N hours. Give me a sec to look it up.
At least.
You definitely
an
want
hour.
to know. I had 9 hours and 1 minute left.
It's,
Oh, shit!
It's 1 hour.
Or should I be like a spider and your bird can deliver me there? And then I'll crawl into
The
doors and stuff.
bird gets hungry.
Yeah, spider is risky.
2 ravens is
I mean-
totally fine.
Yeah, like I guess whatever your preference is. I don't have a strong opinion on the matter. It can be any beast.
Any input from everyone?
I think bird is fine.
I think a spider might be a little risky. It's
Fast,
small.
you're inconspicuous,
If
you look
okay.
cool.
All right, we'll go with Raven for now.
Hugin and Mugen, out a-spying.
Pretty much.
All right.
So
So
when you guys come back, I'm going to put one of my eyes out.
If you try to be a stealthy raven, you still get that plus 10, even if you're, I think, not within 30 feet of me.
all right, you turn into a stealthy raven, and you fly over to the arena.
She's right here.
Very short flight.
I'm gonna circle a little bit
Mhm.
and see what I see.
Yeah, so you see pretty much exactly what you expect. The stands are filled with orcs. There's various torches lit around. They're shouting and jeering as, two orcs with, one's got a big ol' halberd, the other's got two curved swords.
Curved swords.
And they're,
Guys, they're from
fighting
Hammerfell.
in the arena, dancing around each other, taking shots at each other. You see in the crowds, there's some orcs like selling food to other orcs. You see a few going around, and they look like they're taking bets of some kind, but you don't see them exchange any gold when they're taking these bets. They go around, they start negotiating. He's saying something about odds, and then once they agree, you see they just sort of like shake hands by like grabbing each other's wrists in like a sort of a handshake.
Kevin's orcish economy system.
Don't say anything, Lily.
What are they? But what are
Sorry.
they? Do I hear them? What they're trading? Like what they're saying? I'll give you what, or like how many?
Yeah, you hear the phrase "blood debt."
Sorry, it's so exciting.
Misa, owe you a life debt?
Okay.
You also hear, because you're hearing bits and pieces. It's really loud, and you can only get so close to different pieces. That there definitely seems to be like amounts of blood debt associated with different races. So you hear, 3 human blood debt, 2 elf blood debt.
Weird.
So
But
like
okay.
I bet halflings aren't worth much.
Why don't you give me a perception check as well?
Do ravens get that thing where they have advantage on perception checks? Like owls?
that'd be cool.
I will tell you in just a moment that
How specific does the currency get? Like, can you pay someone in old ladies?
I'll give you 2 night hags.
Well, that's not worth a full teenager.
no, ravens have mimicry.
Okay, cool. Ooh.
Ooh, that's fun.
They can mimic a sound. A raven can mimic simple sounds it has heard, such as a person whispering, a baby crying, or an animal chittering. A creature that hears the sound can tell their imitations with a successful DC 10 Wisdom Insight check.
You could totally
Oh my
sow
God.
chaos.
Can you trick 2 orcs into killing each other?
Yes.
All right. So what do I see with my 19 perception?
That's very good.
Yeah.
You land on like a post, sort of near this bookie, and you see that as he reaches out to shake hands with this guy, on his arm along the inside of his wrist, there are these tattoos, and they're fairly small. He's got a bunch of them on there, and they're small. They look almost like faces.
Creepy.
Yeah, but they're rudimentary. They're like glyphs of faces, not actual like detailed faces.
Like Sanskrit.
yeah, like one, and
cuneiform.
they've got like very obvious like caricaturized races. So like one
Like
has
big
big
ears.
pointy ears, and that's very clearly an elf, and one's got like pointy teeth, and that looks like an orc, right? Things like that. One's got, a big old snout, and that's very clearly a dragonborn, right? And as they shake hands, you see the tattoo move and jump from one wrist to the other.
That's wild.
Oh, you mean to the other dude's wrist?
Mm-hmm.
Do I see? So I'm assuming there's stands, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do I see in the stands like this is where the fancy people sit? Like the nicest, biggest, strongest orcs?
There's
Or
not
is there-
really. No, you don't really see like like any sort of like caste system or anything. They all seem to be roughly the same.
Greg Dor the many-fisted, and I get to sit in the front.
You do see like
Misted.
down towards the edges, like a few, like clearly what may have been like former champions or folks waiting for their turn in the arena, they've got their armor and their weapons with them. I mean, they look tough, but
I want to eavesdrop, is what I want to do.
okay.
I am searching for in this hour, which I'm hoping Koros will tell me when it's almost up. I am searching. I am listening to get any kind of idea of like who is important and who is not. And I know this is probably impossible to accomplish in one visit.
I will take an investigation check.
And just on that note, at like 55 minutes, I'll tell him he's got 5 minutes left.
I am terrible at investigation.
You should tell me he has 15 seconds just to hear the panic in his voice.
I don't even know where to start.
For anyone listening on just audio, that was a 1
Nice.
for investigation.
He rolled a 2 because he has -1.
You're able to overhear some conversations, but they're all
Nothing useful.
everything you're able to hear is about the fights in the arena. They're saying, "Oh, Grognar's got his, he's been practicing with that halberd, and he's real tough now. Like, you hear he beat Zag, and you're like, no, Zag can't be beat. That sort of stuff."
I don't
Put
know.
Zach in the bag.
Dibs had a really bad season. My fantasy team sucks.
You do see just sort of just things you pick up on. Everyone is very aggressive and rough. It's like going to a Raiders game. Much love and respect to Raiders fans.
Damn.
I don't know if you can hear Lily. She's
If I have time, the last thing I would like to try and do is figure out. So is this arena? It's like built up, right?
yeah, like a Coliseum
Okay.
thing.
Is it easy to tell if they like? No, that's really hard. That would not be a fair question. I was going to say like what would be considered like a horrible crime to them, but that's
Hard
complex.
to tell. You do see a few times folks get into like arguments over payment or something, and they sort of push each other around a bit and threaten, and then like someone growls louder than the other guy, and then it seems to like
And they back off.
And
So
they back
it's
off,
not a
yeah.
lot of like, I'll kill you where you stand.
no, not a lot of like no that's much more Dragonborn, right? Like this sort of honorable.
That's how we do things.
Right. No, the orcs just seem to like
Yeah.
fight and growl at each other, and then someone growls bigger and the other guy backs off, right?
They posture, they clack tusks.
Yeah, that sort of stuff.
Okay. That's good to know. Alright. I assume I'm running out of time now.
Yes.
But if I have more time... Okay. If I am running out of time, I head back.
All right. Was there one more thing you wanted to do? Because you got a whole hour.
Oh, okay. I was going to say I might slip into it, sit on a windowsill,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully find some people at the periphery
Mm-hmm.
who might be gossiping,
Mm.
doing some... or looking for any kind of, like, shady deals.
Because you got a 1 on your investigation roll, I'm going to say you look around for that, and you frankly don't find any.
Makes sense to me.
And then you're able to head back. Everyone else, is there anything you'd like to do in this hour while you are waiting for Nadam?
Hey, Eridan, should we
Yeah,
grab
what?
an orc and interrogate it?
I kind of want to.
Let's do it. Come on.
Okay. Of course, you want to come?
I got to concentrate on this spell. I really don't want to risk losing concentration while
That's fair.
Three.
Dirk's a
Madame is in
raven.
the arena.
Yeah, if we hear a splat, we'll know that you got distracted.
You said
Yep.
you had what?
We're
We're
gonna.
gonna grab a drunk orc and interrogate him.
Oh, I was gonna keep trying to make contact with Burnham.
That
Okay.
makes sense.
Cool.
Okay.
Hi.
Let's do Eridan and Arena first.
Like, is he able to make his way out of the sewers and stuff?
Yeah.
All right. Let's sneak.
Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Do we see any drunk orcs?
I will take a stealth roll first.
All right, and we're adding a 10 to that, right?
Yeah.
Dang, did you pass without trace?
Yeah.
Nice.
Good, because we need
good,
it.
because we rolled good.
Damn, yeah, you really needed that.
This
Uh,
damn plate armor, I got used to the leather in the jungle.
So Irina,
No, I didn't wear that before this.
that's a 5 plus 10, so 15, and Eridan, that's a 6 plus 10 is 16.
Wow. Wow,
Yeah,
guys.
we suck.
Let's roll for some orcs.
Roll crappy.
I think, are we trying to like,
And they are drunk.
hide until we can hear a group and then see if we could circle around back and grab
I
them?
was just gonna see if we could find like a lone one that we could pick off.
So you're sort
I
of
like
Little sick ones.
up in the slums are sort of like up and against this hill. So you guys basically you zigzag up and down these paths and these bridges that cut across everything until you're down sort of in the regular city, or maybe just above it, where you can see these roads and where other buildings are supposed to be, and then you're able from the slums to get onto the roofs of the regular buildings down towards the road. And a lot of these roofs are close together. Some of them actually have like boards and planks across. Seems like a lot of folks travel across the roofs here. You guys are able to make your way over to the edge of one of these, a little closer to these main roads down the middle, where there's, many orcs over towards the main road. And as you get a little closer to these main roads, you see an orc here, an orc there, cutting through alleyways and things like that.
Do we want to try to grab one when it comes?
Yeah, so
down
what's the
below us?
plan? Because I'm not sure that the two of us can physically overpower one of these guys.
We might be able to grapple one and then tie it up. I can make it tell us the truth, theoretically. If we can get it.
If you can't, I can theoretically tell if they're lying.
Oh, this is good.
This is very good.
Okay.
All right, yeah, okay, grappling and tying up sounds good. We should definitely try and find them isolated, like in an alley or something, so no one can see us while we're doing that.
I'm thinking try to find an alley isolated, grapple it and pull it into a house.
Yeah, that sounds
Maybe.
good. We're now a bit away from the shack that I was planning on, hanging the light above and swinging.
Not our HQ house, like a different house.
It's gonna be hard to drag him back to the HQ house.
Yeah, okay, cool. No, I'm making sure. Like, I don't want him in the
Unless we're like, Jim got drunk again.
Okay. I think
Alright,
that's
sounds
solid.
So can we scope out?
Yeah, you can see. You wait for a little bit until it clears out a little bit, and then you see one guy, and he comes and he turns. He's heading right down your alley.
Oh,
We
that's
wanna
right
try
up
to
my
get
alley.
to
Boo!
Alright, so
Do we
are we just
wanna
gonna
do-
both bum rush him?
I think so. I think we're on a roof. We can
Great.
jump
1,
down.
2, 3, go!
Tackle.
All right, so you're able to. You guys are both gonna jump down off the roof onto this guy.
And try to grapple him.
Let's see. I'm actually gonna ask for 2 checks on this one. First, an acrobatics check for jumping off of the roof, and then I will take your strength athletics checks for your grappling.
Sounds amazing.
Not amazing at acrobatics, I'll be honest.
I suck at it too. I really
I
suck.
hit it twice. I don't know how.
And definitely call out your rolls. So
That's
use
an
the first
11.
time.
I got a 2.
So what happens is you both jump and you crash into each other.
Wow.
Phase 1 is going excellent.
Yeah.
And you each take you clunk onto the ground behind this orc.
Okay.
And you each take 3 falling damage.
That's
Ow.
chill.
And he goes, "Huh?" And he turns around.
Pretend to fight each other.
No, get him.
No, I'm still gonna try to grab him.
No, we're just gonna tackle him.
Yeah.
All right,
fucking
now
leg.
I'll take your strength athletics rolls.
I am
That's
pretty
much
good.
better.
There we go. That's
19.
a 28 from Irina and a 19 from Aridin.
Well, Arena, good recovery.
Let me roll for him.
I've fallen off 2 roofs today.
Gravity is our enemy.
Yeah.
Honestly,
It is.
no
It
matter.
is the enemy. It's the true big bad of this campaign. All right.
And our coordination.
He got a 14, so you are able to overpower him, and he starts to make some noise, and one of you is able to, cover his mouth,
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
and he tries to bite at you with his, big old tusks, and you guys wrestle him down. Yeah, and Aridin, eventually, you just give a big old punch, and you're able to, daze him, and he's
Can we tie him?
Yeah, you can easily tie him up and then drag him off into whatever building is next to you.
Perfect. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Zone of Truth, I think. Should I do that? I should do that, right?
Sure.
Yeah, so when you drag him, you just go through the first door you see, and it seems to be the side door or the back door of some tavern. You're in, like, a storeroom. Some barrels and things, crates around.
Okay. Yeah, I will... Oh, wrong spell, sorry.
You disappear.
Whoosh.
I'm gone.
Irina vanishes. Zone of Truth. All right. Must make a charisma saving throw.
not.
Orcs are not the best at charisma. What is the DC?
I believe it's my spell save DC.
It is.
It is a 17.
All right.
Very good.
You know whether each creature succeeds or fails on its saving throw, so it fails.
Good.
Nice.
Good.
He
But
starts
the
to
creature is aware of the spell.
he starts to come to, and he says, "Oh, what are you?" He actually starts speaking in Orcish, actually.
Oh.
I'll just I'll put my sword up against his throat and be like, English? Common? Not English.
Do you speak common?
Well,
Well,
Is he
didn't
shaking
think of that.
What's happening here?
So do you
Hey,
speak
Nadam,
that?
if I just copy Orcish noises, will you understand it?
I don't know.
Oh, now I can't understand our party members.
This deal's getting worse all the time.
Wait, do you understand? Because I have that feature.
I don't think that works when you're in Raven form.
No, come on. That's the whole point, man.
What is the? Oh no, I guess it is.
I thought this was all mental.
It is mental. So you are able to communicate just fine in an animal form.
Okay,
Good.
I don't know.
Okay, what did the orc say?
To which
Do you
I'm just
speak
gonna
common?
copy syllable for syllable what he's saying.
Do
My
you need
head.
me to come to where you are?
That might work better.
I think this is happening at the same time, though.
that's
Well,
all
then
right.
I would say
You're able to
hold
cut it a little
until I am
short.
finished.
You're able to cut it a little short, Nadam. You head over there when you've got maybe 15 minutes left.
Mhm.
You're able to head over to where they are. You fly in. You guys hear a raven pecking at your door. Actually, hold on. Before that, so you guys are waiting there.
Oh.
Because he says, "You wait till I finish," and you're like, "All right." So you just sort of got
Can
this
we
guy
be
here.
like,
And,
careful and watch what, you know?
yeah, you can watch around. Be careful. You know, no one seems to be coming down this alleyway. You picked this alley because it was not well walked. And you know you've got the door shut. But I'll take. Let's see. Actually, no. You've got passive perceptions. Let's take a look. Eridan,
Yes.
you think you hear either some shuffling or some muffled voices coming from below.
Are we on a second story?
No.
Is there any indication of a basement here? Like a hole in the ground with a ladder?
Or a cellar.
You could start looking around. Do you want to give me a investigation check?
Sad dude.
Can I help?
Oh
There's
yeah,
a big
Reina.
sign on the wall that says "Man
Do you hear
Cave
that? There's
Below."
something below us.
I don't hear anything, but, you know, I trust you.
You should
Can I
take a
help?
look, because my vision's horrible today. I think I got a concussion when you hit me in midair.
Yeah, sorry about that. Also, I'm really impressed with our planning abilities. I think we did great. Investigation?
Honestly, this is going better than I thought.
Yeah. We're really smart.
Yeah. I see some footsteps. Wait, no, those are ours.
You're not able to find any evidence of any trapdoors or basement or anything. And after a little while of looking around, the noises seem to have muffled and stopped.
Huh.
Do they seem like they moved further away or that they just ceased?
Did they sound like orc noises?
Hard to tell. It was you heard you know like muffled shuffling and voices, but you couldn't make out you know whether they're speaking Orcish or human or anything.
Orcs wouldn't be hiding.
Sort of
you know,
hushed,
would they?
whispered voices. Yeah.
Well,
I heard
Irene
his
is stupid.
voices.
Never mind. She wouldn't know that. Yeah, orcs in the basement.
Makes sense. Maybe it's Burnham in the sewers.
Yeah, probably. He'll be okay.
Burnham? Buddy?
No response. All right. So after some more time passes, Nadam, you know, cuts his hour 15 minutes short, flies over. You hear the raven pecking at your door.
What is it?
Who is it?
The sound.
Okay.
You
It's Nadam.
crack the door open, and a little raven hops in.
I ask Koros to drop the spell.
Whoosh. Big old dragonborn. The
Oh,
orc
you got one.
turns. The orc turns and he starts rumbling,
Yeah, I can't work.
Which I
with this.
understand.
which you understand. And he says, "I'll rip you apart too. I don't care. I'll kill
I
all
punch him
three of
in the
you."
face.
What'd you do?
But did he say something about your mom?
No.
Wait, sorry. What did Nadam do?
Punched him in the face.
Oh,
He's
So,
drunk and has been punched a couple times.
did you have a plan here?
Oh,
Yeah, wait for you to come back.
Well,
I
that
mean,
wasn't
for
our
how
original-
you wanted to interrogate him.
I think our original plan was brilliant, was to kidnap and interrogate, and then he started talking, and we realized that we had no idea what he was saying.
if you're gonna ask us what we intended to learn from this, I gotta be honest. I didn't think that through.
No, not one bit.
my brother is very honest.
Well, then I kneel down and I lean in close to him and I just look at him. And I say, in Draconic, which he can somehow understand, "Can you understand me?"
And he says, "A dragon would speak Orcish." My friends will love this.
I'm sure they will. They'll get a good laugh as I kill them.
And he says, Hucknuck even has a dragonborn blood debt.
Hucknuck, what's your name?
What is his name? He is... I got all these great orc names.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Mork.
Orble.
Orble. Nice to meet you, Orble. Do you have a family, Orble? Friends?
Redbacher?
And he says, I've got dozens and they'll be here any minute. But I don't even
Sharpening
need
a
them.
knife.
I'll rip you apart.
Shing, shing,
You
shing.
sharpening a knife?
I'm sharpening a knife in front of
But are
him.
you no longer a raven?
I'm not a raven. I'm sharpening a knife in front of Orble.
Uh,
And I go,
This is terrifying when you don't understand what's happening.
I thought a
Maybe.
raven was sharpening a knife, and I
My
was
friends
so
and I-
scared.
Me
I
and
have some
Eric.
questions for you, Orble. And you're going to answer them. And if you are very polite, I won't take you apart one piece at a time.
Give me an intimidation check with advantage.
Yeah, cone advantage. Come on.
It's not great.
12, that's all right. It's opposed to him, and he will have disadvantage because he's drunk.
And alone. I'm totally
Just have it
done.
be a charisma check for him, or insight. Insight would be what it is, which is also charisma. So,
Oh, I mean it.
oh no, it's wisdom, which is the same as his charisma.
As an update for everyone, I am in my own home wearing 2 pairs of socks.
He rolled
Nice.
a natural 1,
Good. He's horrified.
and he had disadvantage. So
He pees his pants.
you do smell a bit of warm wetness.
You
Horrible,
smell
horrible,
warm wetness?
Orble, it's okay. Orble, please. You're an orc. Have some dignity.
I don't know what you's talking about.
Tell me, Orble. And I turn to you guys and say, if you have any questions, just tell me. I'll ask. I say, who's your leader here in the city, Orble?
Let's pause.
Who's in
Irina,
charge?
how long does Zone of Truth last?
It is done. I think it's done. I think it
It
lasts.
only lasted 10 minutes. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
worn off.
Yeah, it's worn off.
Cool.
I can
Oh, I-
recast it if we need.
You can recast, or I can do my thing if you want.
Don't recast yours.
What's
'Cause you
the-
have
he's
spell
already-
slots, right, Arena?
Yeah. Yeah, he's already intimidated. Let's see how it goes first.
All right, so what was your first question, Nadam?
I wanted to know who's the leader here in the city.
Who is the leader here in the city? Let me go consult my big list of names.
And Eridan, your trick only works if you can understand him, can't you?
Right, I was just thinking about that. I was wondering if you relay it. I can.
Problem with Zone
Or
of
if I
Truth,
get-
they
If
know
I just
that-
see his eyes dart, then I'll know. Whatever he said, it's a lie.
He says, Marab.
Marab. And are you all just one big happy family here with Marab, or is there some turmoil?
We're orcs. There's always turmoil.
Who would you rather be in charge?
Marab,
Other than yourself, of course.
Marab does a good job, but
So does Hob.
And Mom.
But so does Zog.
Ooh, tell me about Zog.
Zog, he explains, is one of the champions in the arena. I mentioned him before. You might.
I remember Zog.
He's been training with Halberd.
Yeah.
Very intimidating.
I ask about, since I don't, unless you want me to, I'll roleplay Scary Interrogator Nadam. But,
you can just ask me questions now.
I would like to know if there are sort of tribes or factions within this great Orcish host.
He says that there are tribes, but that Ruspal brought all the tribes together.
Do the tribes still quarrel?
They do from time to time.
Do they
But,
ever kill each other?
Ruspal keeps everyone in line,
Oh,
and he's
my
brought them
God.
great victory and paid off much blood debt.
Where is Roots Paul?
All right, Eridan, our next mission.
He
Yo,
took
get
his
the ball bearings!
he took his host east
Hmm.
and south.
What's
And now, I'm
Lily's
sorry, what was
asking what's east and south? Do we know?
There's a lot of stuff east and south.
Oh, okay.
what was the leader in the city's name again?
Marab.
I ask if Marab keeps the peace now.
And he says, Ruspal chose Marab. Marab proved himself in battle.
I
Marab
ask
is
if he
strong.
knows any other tribal leaders. I only need 2.
So
If
there
he
are,
doesn't really know them, that's okay.
there are not tribal leaders here.
You can also ask, like, if he thinks that if, like, there was an uprising and people rallied behind Zog, if people would come to his cause.
I ask him, I ask him, what tribe he is in.
And he says he hasn't been chosen to join a tribe yet.
Interesting.
What a loser.
Ask
Yeah.
him about this.
He hasn't proven himself enough yet, but he will by ripping you apart.
That's adorable.
Okay, P-Pants.
Ask him both about.
I cut one of his fingers off.
Holy shit!
Don't talk shit to me right now. Just like bang. And then I gag him.
Wait. Okay.
But we need him to talk.
He's gonna scream for a little bit.
He screams for like there's a bit of scream that comes out before you were able to gag him.
Okay. Quickly, let's interrogate him. So, one, ask him about any defenses around the catapults. And 2, ask him. I forgot the other thing I was gonna ask.
Cool.
So-
I
I was
asked
thinking
him about the
maybe-
catapults.
Maybe figure out the long-term plans of the orcs in the city. Are they just here to, like, drink and have fun till they die?
He probably wouldn't know. But yeah, ask.
I ask him about the catapults.
And he
he
says
knows.
everyone's got shifts, patrols, guard them, watch the seas.
How many people at one time?
A lot.
Cool.
Doesn't have, like, a rough idea, like 20, 40?
You're not sure that he understands the concept of numbers.
Cool.
This many.
And he says,
I think it's time we
I
just
don't
kill
have
him
this
and move
one.
on.
More than this.
Yep.
You gotta be missing one, Jake.
Yeah, more than this.
I'm cool with that.
I was gonna say, I don't want to stab him because that looks like a murder. I wanted to like monk him to death.
I have to say, I don't think I'm cool with like killing him slowly. I'd rather just
I can do it quickly.
slit his throat and then maybe after he's dead, put a few holes in his body.
I'm gonna. If no one stops me, I'm going to, as fast as possible, like Ip Man him to death.
I'm gonna try to cut his throat before that happens.
I'm gonna back away slowly.
Because I don't want to explain
Messed
why
up.
I'm doing this because we don't have time.
it's
The dumb starts punching And
Really?
Irina just steps in with with her, I guess, your sword.
I was gonna say you should have them both roll attacks, and whoever's the higher number goes first.
Let's do that.
Okay. Attacks or
Attacks.
dex? Okay.
You attack.
Roll initiative.
All right.
I guess Irina
You
gets it.
get like a punch or two in, but not enough to kill him, Nadam. Before Irina, she just pulls her sword out lightning quick, and just right into the guy's neck. Orc blood
Dang
just
it.
pouring out.
Well, I can stab his body now. I'm not cool.
It
with
doesn't
this.
matter. I didn't want him to look stabbed. That's like someone killed him. I wanted to push him off something so it looks like he fell to his death. Now help me hide him.
Okay, fine. I'll help you hide him, but
I
Cool,
thought
now we need to go right now.
okay.
So you're looking around for a place to hide him?
I'm just gonna stuff him under some debris.
Okay, you're like there's not any debris in here.
Well, then, like in a corner.
Okay.
is there furniture?
So the
I'm
room
gonna-
you're in is like a storeroom. There's like barrels, crates,
Right.
like some hay.
Just throw him behind some
Um,
graves.
I have a knife. I'm just gonna take it and get some blood on and put it in his hand. Cool.
All right.
Hopefully, it looks like he died in
Fall
my
back.
fight.
The knife looks tiny in his hand.
That's okay.
Big ol' orc hand, this teeny
Wait,
little knife.
he has a knife, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, he's got like a big ol' axe or something.
I'll
I
use
plant-
it.
Yeah, I plant that on him.
No, wait, we should put the axe in him. So it looks like Nort killed him.
Thunk. Let's go.
Boom! Right into his chest. More orc blood splatters out. It's
Let's go.
dark
Yeah.
and gooey.
All right, we sneak back.
I'm out.
Is there like an hour meanwhile where it's just literally me and Koros chilling?
Yeah, so let's do a quick
I'm like
meanwhile.
tuning the radio, trying to like find Burnham.
You got your little ear thing out, and you're like poking at the stone on the inside, and then trying it again.
And I don't know anything about magic. It's not working very well.
Let's say that you are able to at one point get maybe like 30 seconds where you get a clear signal out to him. And he says, "Theo."
Burnham, we're gathering intelligence and are above the surface, but remember, we're not putting any explosives on the arena. We're putting them on the catapults. Are you able to get up to the surface?
And he says, "I'm not sure if I want to get up to the surface. I can get the arena and the catapults. You just say the word.
Oh,
I'll
no,
have
wait.
it ready in a few hours."
All right, sick. Cool. We'll tell you when, and you can just like go, right? There's not like a delay, right?
No, it should be.
I was timing it right now.
Lovely. Well, that's not the worst idea, but I'm a little worried that we're not going to be able to get back in touch with them to trigger it.
That is the risk, but I don't know if we have another choice right now.
So what do we want to do then? If he thinks he can get the arena and the catapults,
I mean, yeah, he says he can. If it sounds like he can do them at the same time, so we might as well. Like when we're ready, we'll still shoot the catapults at the arena first. Oh, is your bird back?
I mean, the bird, I just have the bird circling.
Okay. Maybe we should send the bird now to the barracks.
Yeah, we can do that.
Cool.
All right. So you send your bird across the distance over to Fort Armory Barracks Jail. As it flies over there, you see there's a whole line of orcs along the docks and the lifted bridge there, and they've got a few of their the smaller catapults on wheels on carts, and they've got them up at the edges, and every once in a while you see that they just take a bunch of debris and rocks and stones and wood, and they just shove it into the thing, and then they just fling it up and over onto the fort.
That's kind of rude.
Some of it splashes into the river. Some of it, just crashes against the walls. Some of it goes over the top. They're just making a mess and being annoying. Every once in a while, you see they drag some dead bodies of, former citizens of the city and fling them into the fort.
Grody.
Yeah, it works both against morale and in disease.
true.
Amazing. Dual purpose. Get
Yeah.
yours today. Only
Um,
15 minutes of 1999.
As you fly over the fort, you don't see anyone outside any of the buildings in the fort. Everyone's inside.
Do I see like a small window or something I can get into?
Yeah, you see a few different spots.
All right, I'm gonna like enter and fly around until I see what looks like a human being.
Yeah, you're able to pretty quickly find one of the few places with the lights on inside, or rather, candles and torches. There's a large hall. It seems to be like where the all the guards would assemble for anything. And there you see they've sort of set it up. They've got cots in there. They've got supplies in there. And there's a lot of people in here.
Has anyone previously made contact with them? Do they know that a big giant army is coming?
They do not
Okay.
know. Yeah.
I guess I'm just going to find the first group of people I can and just start talking out of the bird. Don't be alarmed. I'm speaking to you through this raven. I'm with a relief army.
You just say this to a random person.
So yeah, please take me to your commander.
He's like, oh, orcish trickery.
No, it's not orcish trickery. Calm down.
He startles back. A few people are now looking around, like at him and you.
You can just repeat your same message. Don't be alarmed. Da-da-da-da.
Can one of you show some bloody initiative? Take me to your commanding officer.
And like one of them, he's looking around for his crossbow.
We're part of a small group that's been teleported into the city. We're trying to open it up to the army. We have an army on the other side of the bridge. We're trying to open the city up to conquest.
This guy, he scatters, he grabs the crossbow, he's about to do it up, and then a gentleman puts his hand on the kid's shoulder, and he says, "Put down your weapon, boy." And you see an older gentleman in a like a officer's uniform that clearly shows his rank, and he walks right over to your class feature. And he says, "Who exactly are you folks?"
We're representatives of the Dwarf King from the other side of the bridge.
And the merchant.
The
princes
dwarves, you
Dwarf.
say.
And the
Correct.
merchant
And he
princes
says-
of Dwarf.
Yes, and the merchant princes of Orem.
And he says, "It's about time they showed up.
Yes,
And he
well,
says-
they're on the other side of the walls at the
Nice
moment.
to meet ya.
I'm Captain Zaberdoste."
Does he have gray hair?
Yes, absolutely, and a beard.
Single? Recently widowed, maybe?
Uh,
All right, here's our situation at the moment. There are 5 of us that have been, well, 6, but we're separated, that have been teleported into the city. We're currently holed up in the slums in the south end.
he says, 6 whole people. That's the reinforcements we need.
We're fairly capable. I wouldn't worry about it. For example, I'm in here, and all those idiots out there still throwing rocks at you aren't.
He says, "Fair point." He says,
All right.
"What are you
our primary-
expecting of us?"
Well, I was going to ask you what you needed first, and then maybe see if you had any suggestions.
Supplies,
The
food,
main
water.
thing that we want to ask them, though, at the end of this is the chain thing. So.
Right.
As
So
long as you don't forget that, everything else.
I will not forget that.
Cool.
The high-level thing we want is to bring the river chain down and let our forces sail in.
All right.
Possibly also open the front gates as well. We'll see how much we can pull off. Do you know anything about the distribution of the orcs in the city? And is there anything you can recommend?
We've got no information about the orcs except that they batter us day and night,
All right.
and we're very close to running out of supplies.
Let me see the map again. So they, if we brought the catapults down, they could maybe be supplied by sea, even if the chain's not down yet, right? Because, they're out there on the water.
Yeah, there's not a lot of access on that side intentionally.
Okay.
Right? The
Okay.
gates are down by where that drawbridge is.
Gotcha. All
But
right.
he says the chain's not doing us any good right now. Happy to lower
All
it.
right.
It may
In
take
that
some work
case-
to get some men over to that side of the fort. It's pretty filled with debris.
If I take some work, is that just a time and care thing, or you need help punching through some orcs?
Time and care.
All right. In that case, what we'd like to do is bring down the catapults that are protecting the water approach, and then we'll find some way to get back in touch with you. Bring the chain down. That'll bring our forces in and let you get resupplied.
You can tell them that we're setting up explosives right now.
Yeah, I'll get to that. Would you be able to participate in a sort of help establish a beachhead if we know that forces are coming in? Could you try to stage some kind of breakout?
He says, we haven't got a lot of men, but we could bring the drawbridge down and charge out at the orcs and give them one last fight.
All right. Obviously, we're not going to do that, so we know that we've got more people coming in, but that's good to know. The other thing is we've got the possibility of using some explosives underground to demolish a couple locations. The big one, obviously, is the catapults. The other one is we believe a lot of the orcs are congregated in the arena. So I guess if you see a giant explosion, that's us. Don't worry about it.
And he says,
I really lost where I was going with that one.
You can ask what kind of visibility they have, like if he'll be able to tell when the catapults are
he
destroyed.
says, the nobles won't be too happy if you destroy their park.
Well, we'll see if we can reimburse them afterwards, but the catapults have to go.
He says, all right. I'll try and get some men through the wreckage and over to the chain as soon as we can.
All right. We'll stay in contact.
Word of fair warning, though.
Sure.
If the orcs see the chain down and they don't want it down, they hold the palace, which holds the other side of the chain. It can be cranked up from there as well.
Good to know.
They
We
keep
better make
silver
sure
on
we-
their end.
Bobby, can you leave the bird with him?
I could leave the bird with him, yeah.
Link in
that's
to
good.
explain it. The chain, both sides can
it's-
crank it up. Right now, the governor's palace is all the way out on the governor's palace side, but then all the way reeled in on the fort side. When the fort reels all the way out, the governor's palace could then reel all the way in.
And I'm guessing it's built so that you couldn't just detach it, otherwise a boat would hit it and break it.
Right.
Yeah. Lily, out of character, I want to keep the bird for scouting for now that we know the bird can get in and out.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's totally fine. I'm trying to figure out.
That could be an in-character conversation.
Oh, shit. Did we have extra sending stones?
You don't have any extra.
Okay, I was going to say we should brought this guy
I
one.
know that would have been good, but that's my thing. I'm agreeing with you, because the timing is really key.
All right, so here's what
You can
Here's
say
what we'll do.
yeah.
Here's what we'll do. We'll take care of the catapults. We'll make sure we have control of the other side of the chain, and then I'll send the bird back into you. I'm going to bring the bird back out. It's a useful scout. But I'll send the bird back into you once we've got control and we're in position, and then we'll have you bring the chain down. And we'll know that there's going to be a period of time where we'll have to make sure we're holding the other side of the chain.
We'll be able to see the boats coming. The chain goes down fairly quick.
Oh,
That works. we can do it that
Tell
way.
Rogard and send the boats in.
Yeah.
all right.
Well, but not right now, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm saying that can be our signal because
Yeah.
Rogar is on our
All
compass.
right. Sounds good. When you see the boats coming in, bring the chain down. We'll make sure we're in position, and we won't bring them in until we're ready.
What flag will these ships be flying?
No
Describe
fucking
Rogar's family crest.
There are no flags on these ships. They're giant stone
Oh,
ships.
say that.
Yeah. Well, no flag exactly, but you can't miss them. They're like nothing you've ever seen before. They're giant stone sailing ships.
Stone?
Dwarves, man.
Dwarves.
Can't do anything with them.
This is
Buoyancy.
Is saying dwarves in D&D like the equivalent of being like, have you ever looked at your hands? Like, so crazy, right?
He says, we appreciate the support you're bringing. Hopefully
Sure
we can
thing.
take this city back.
Yeah. Stay strong. Help's on the way. All right. We'll be back in touch.
Fly out.
Class feature flies out. Yeah.
All right.
All right. So we have to hold the palace, or at least like the part of the palace with the chain. That's good to know.
I gotta look at the map now again.
Yeah, here, let me bring up the map for the viewers as well. We're up here.
I see it.
This
I
is
see
Fort
it.
Armory Barracks Jail. This is
Would we be back by now
hold
so
on.
we can talk?
This is the governor's palace. Right. Let me draw a little line so it's clear. From here to here is where that chain hangs. I should actually use a chain color. Let's see, like a
Okay.
gray, and I can do a little.
No,
like,
gray is hard to see. That's fine.
This is too light of a gray anyway. Ah, crap. No, here. Let's try a darker gray. This is Jake getting sidetracked.
He's having a great time, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, it's so great. There we go. All right. This chain can go across here.
Okay.
And that's the palace. So, yeah.
All right.
I'm going to erase that now.
All right. So how do we want to play this? It sounds like we've got an option, at least in a few hours, to blow both the catapults and the arena. We could beeline it for the palace, bring the chain down and wait.
Or we could beeline it for those front doors.
Right. We could also try to open the front doors. We could try to do both.
Or we could go hide somewhere near those front doors, like Little Sorry or whatever, something over there where we're going to be out of the way. Then when those explosions happens and the chain comes down, everybody will rush that way. The doors will be left fairly unfortified, and we could open them then.
It's not a bad idea. The only problem is if they get the chain back up, we're really hosed.
Bird Scout now to see how many people are guarding the door.
Yeah, for sure. I'll send the bird over to the front gates.
I don't know how long any bird travel takes, so this is just a suggestion.
I mean, the city doesn't seem that big.
During this second round of bird travel, we'll say that everyone makes it back to your little base in the slums.
It's our hide. I put up the canvas to hide any holes.
Just
Campus coming in clutch.
one thought. We may not want to stay here too long after killing that guy. We may want to get moving.
Why? An orc killed him. Fine.
While all this is going on, by the way, I'm not clear exactly how long it's taking, but I'm gonna try to short rest so I can have that spell slot back.
You can absolutely achieve a short rest sometime around this
Yeah,
hour.
you know, we're just kind of sitting there, so.
Right. You're like, you take over class feature, you're like, go that way, and then you step out and you let him fly
Right, and
for
I
a
just
bit.
take a nap.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Sort
think
of
we should
point in
hold
the
the
right
palace
direction.
until the ships are in and then go for the gate.
Just really,
So, point of
really
order.
far.
That upper city is up a cliff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are
Grappling hook.
on that cliff right now. Not quite a cliff. It's a little more like a hill than a cliff, but it's steep.
And then
It's
there's
like
a wall.
It's like the cliffs in La Jolla. Like,
I thought you were going to say, like, the Cliffs of Insanity.
and then
then
yeah,
there's a
and then there's
wall
a
at
wall
that
at the
cliff,
top
right?
of that. Right.
So we...
To show it for our viewers.
So that's already
Upper city.
difficult.
It's got a
Second
cliff and a
point,
wall.
Jake shows that.
Yep.
Um,
You do know, because you've seen the map and you can see around the city, as you know, with your bird friend, there is a path that heads up to the upper city along the west side. It wraps around underneath the bridge and then comes up through the customs building, but
That doesn't help us.
that doesn't help very much, no.
Are we still trying to sow discord with these two orc leaders before we do anything else, or are we abandoning that?
I feel like that
I-
might be dead end, considering we're just going to set off bombs on both sides of the town. Then
I was
there's
going
gonna
to
be
say
chaos
we
on the
should
way.
stage some more murders.
Oh.
What he told me was that this leader maintains order, that someone else went through great pains to unite the tribes. If we can make it look like he can't control the orcs, can't keep them from infighting, that may cause them to doubt his rule, maybe even have this Zog fellow try to take it from him. And even if it doesn't, just the fear and confusion of there being all these murders and then the arena and the park exploding
The
could be helpful.
downside I can see to that is the potential that we start killing people, they start noticing, they go on higher alert.
We want them to look like they're killing each other.
Right, but if they're on high alert, then we're going to have a harder time getting around, and we're going to have a harder time accomplishing our other stuff.
True.
Has the bird gotten to the doors?
Yes. So you can see this big ol' customs building. It's almost like a small castle-like building. It's all stone and reinforced. It's just a formidable building to begin with. Big stone building, these big, portcullises, iron and then wood and then iron again, blocking the entrance to the bridge. Then on top of that, the orcs have covered everything in spikes and put, big old pikes up with, heads on them and things, and
Rude!
done the typical orcish, decorating style. Lots of blood, guts.
I call Rogar.
How many bitches are there? Like, are there hella bitches there?
There's a decent number of bitches there.
Like 20?
You presume that some more are inside the building, so it's hard to see inside that gatehouse. But outside of it, you don't see any of them on the bridge. They're all behind the gatehouse. You see, a few dozen, just like guards around there patrolling. And then there are just lots of orcs around in the upper city that you imagine could very quickly and easily. They've all got their armor and weapons. They don't seem to take them off.
Yeah, I don't think that they may leave that post until we do those large-scale explosions on the other side of town.
And I will remind you again, what you do see is that the only way to get from the upper city to the lower city on this side is through that path that goes down the hill through that customs building.
Unless you climb the cliff.
But there's a wall.
And then
before
the wall.
cliff.
We do have grappling hooks.
Grappling hooks.
We do have climbing gear.
We are very poorly coordinated, and it is gravity.
Hey, Rogar.
And there's 20 people.
Rogar here.
Go for Rogar.
Rogar, this is
land on.
Dragon 3.
Roger, Rogar.
I describe the hill and the wall, and I ask him if the dwarven sappers could collapse it. Or is it too big?
Like the whole wall?
Just an opening. If they have, if we can clear them a corridor to this, could they punch a hole in the wall?
Potentially.
It's
The cliff is steep, though, hard to get up. Easier
Very
to blow
true.
a hole from the other side.
true. All right, thank you.
Do you think the sewers connect?
Oh yeah, probably.
Even gnome and shit.
I just think it might be worth it. We could split up. We could have two teams, one at the guardhouse and one at the thing when they leave because of the explosion. Our team goes in, opens the 3 portcullises. The other team is standing ready at the guardhouse to prevent the reclosure of the chain.
Of course, you do still have teleport, right?
Me?
Yeah, if needed,
Yeah.
you could. No?
Dimension door, but it's only like
That's what I
500
meant.
feet.
Oh, okay.
How many people can you take with you?
One.
So I was thinking is that could be a team.
Irina can Misty Step.
That's 2.
I can Misty
30
Step.
feet.
Isn't Misty Step like 6 feet, though? Or 60 feet, I mean?
30.
Get to the other side of the wall, though.
But yes, you could get to
True.
the other side of
It
the
would
wall.
get us across the wall. That's a good point.
If I meditate, can't meditating, like if you meditate for 10 minutes, that's essentially how I switch
Ritual.
out spells, right?
Oh.
Jake?
In the morning, it's supposed to be, but
Okay,
It's
because I
nighttime.
have banishment
2
as
a.m.
I mean, not banishment. I have dimension door as an oath spell.
gotcha.
So if I could switch it out, but that is totally.
It's part of your morning prayer is the idea, but if you took a short rest and prayed, I would be okay with swapping out a spell.
Okay, so it's if we want to use that, there's potential we could.
And Theo can turn into ravens and just fly in.
That's true.
That's all of us.
All right.
Crows, actually. Theo turns into crows.
Sorry, crows.
Let's then, hate to be Fred, but let's split up thing, and then if shit goes south at either place, most of us can get over to the other.
If we send Chorus and Arena, one could dimension door the other 500 feet, and then the other can dimension door them 500 more feet.
My problem with that, I don't want us to split up. We're strongest together. I think my plan would be, and you're the general here, Theo, my plan would be we decide if we want to sow some more chaos. If not, if we do or not, we blow the arena and the catapults together. I mean, maybe even getting their leader in the arena, hopefully. That would be fantastic.
That would be amazing.
He's there now, isn't he?
And from then, we assault that tower in the palace and try to make sure that chain stays down while the assault begins. And then we move behind it, get into the city, and try to open the gates while the dwarves invade.
The whole thing comes down to, do we think it's more important that the chain is down for their entry or that those doors are open? The whole army.
The chain is way more important.
I think the chain is more important.
That attack up at the gate is not important. It's
The issue is the chain has like a window. Like we need to make sure the barracks aren't overrun when they come out and charge and all that. Like we should hold the chain to get the boats in, and then we can open the gate anytime after that.
They are
It'll be
expecting
easier.
us.
So much harder to get there.
But it'll be easier after the bombs go off.
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, okay. If everybody else wants to do that, then I'll go with it.
The point is, Theo, attacking those gates, they're so heavily defended, even with the gates wide open. Still going to result in a lot of dead men.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If we did it after the explosion, there'd be less people there. So that's what I'm saying. Like, when that explosion goes off, we have a chance to be in either of two places. And so, but if everybody thinks that the guardhouse...
Why would the explosion mean there's less people there?
Because that's all in the lower city, so I think that maybe some people in the upper city would go down and check it out.
I agree, and even more when the dwarves are invading.
Potentially, yeah. So, well, all right. Everybody wants to go to the governor's palace, then we'll do that. I don't care.
Rose, what do you think?
I agree that the chain is the most important thing. I also would like to have the gates open. We could possibly try splitting the party, though I recognize the risks there. The other thing we could do is we could, between the explosions and the invading ships, that's going to draw the troops away. Once that happens, the five of us might not be the most important things in the world. We could then slip away while that's going on and try to open the gate. And then bring the army in on the other side of the fight.
Question. Okay, hang on. Let's scroll for a sec. Can we...
Also, how would the army in the upper city get to the lower city to reinforce them?
Sorry, what?
Is it just that one path?
So there's that one path inside the city. There's also they can also leave through the main gates of the city on the other side of the city, and then make their way down the hill on that side where there's not slums built on it.
Okay.
And it's a little less steep further down, and then come in back through the gates of the city.
What is the question you're answering?
How the army, the army from the bridge would get from the upper city to the lower city. That
Oh.
said, if you take the gates in the upper city, you have access to the lower city pretty easily.
Okay. Can we lay the caltrops we have in the areas between that park, like, so basically the food market area and the warehouse area?
I'm not sure you have enough caltrops to spread over an area that large.
I don't know. I'm just saying we have them. So if we do that and then everybody's going to be running that way, that would take out a lot of people.
You've got, you could fill maybe a 10-foot square with caltrops, not an entire
I don't have
district of a city.
caltrops. I'm just asking.
Not an entire district of a city. A single
Caltrops are
caltrop
the
will
key
not
to all
take a guy
of this.
out.
Damn it, Jim. All right, fine. Okay.
Ah, fuck.
Oh no, I stepped on a single caltrop.
Poisoned.
Dude, Legos, man, they'll get you.
We should have brought Legos. We should have made the dwarves build Legos. We could just litter them everywhere. Oh, that would be great. That would be so in chaos. All right.
Just bombard Legos.
All right, then I guess our next thing is we can, quote unquote, sow discord on our way to the governor's palace.
I really want to find this leader and tell him to go to the arena.
We can look for him on our way to the governor's palace.
I mean, it's not a bad idea. Do we have any idea where we begin looking for him, though?
Send Bird to scout the governor's palace, and the bird will be going and we'll be following behind. Yes? Everybody good? Yes?
Question: do we
Not
want
sure.
to take a short rest, so I should change out my spell? Do we want to have
Well,
that
you already did that.
dimension door?
Yeah, you got plenty of time, so you can do that just fine.
Great, cool. Thank you.
Y'all can do that before you head out.
All right. Are we good with the plan of, send Bird ahead of us to scout governor's palace and we're just, coming behind?
Yeah.
Yes?
Has enough time passed for... Yeah, because it's been 2 short rests, which is 4 hours.
No, don't do it that way. Because then it'll be 5 in the morning. No. Jake is hand waving. Hand wave with
Short
Jake.
rests are shorter than that.
Oh, I thought they were 2 hours.
They're whatever I want them to be.
They are whatever. Yeah, they are whatever.
Because if we get to the governor's palace and Burnham doesn't have the explosives in place, this is pointless.
Koros took a 10-minute short rest earlier. So.
Okay.
It all depends what you're doing in the short rest and what's going on around you. Since you're just
And-
swapping a spell out and making a prayer, that's fine.
And the army can't attack at night. Oh, they're dwarves, so they could attack at night.
It might. I am planning for it to take us some time to get to the governor's palace because we will have to be sneaky, and then if there are opportune points to murder hobo on some bitches, yeah,
Stage murders.
yeah, that's what I said. Those are
Alright.
synonyms. They're in the thesaurus right next to each other.
You all start making your way down the slums and onto the. You can make it onto the roofs again,
We're being
Stealthily.
sneaky.
stealthily, sneakily. And
And Bird is going ahead.
let's see. Eridan and Quaros. I think you two tie for the highest passive perception.
No.
True. Now the Pharaoh's gone.
Stupid
You
Pharaoh.
notice some other figures in the distance moving on the roofs.
It's a Batman.
What did the bird eyes see?
Yeah, I'm gonna flag everyone. So hold up.
The bird is, class features flying ahead to the palace. So
Oh.
How do we want to do this?
Move back and check
Can we
it out.
see-
Like it's invisible.
What?
Class features invisible.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah, so I mean that's probably the best option here is just bring the bird back.
Hold the brothers. Hold.
Maybe hunker down behind a building or wherever we are, and then I'll bring class feature back to do a passover.
okay, so you're
Seen
on
it.
a
Give me your
rooftop,
eyes.
and you guys sort of hunker down behind some, edges and ledges on this rooftop, and you start to bring class
Parapets.
feature back.
Langley.
When
Uh-oh.
Dun, 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 dun,
Theo,
dun.
something behind you, you feel a point in your back, and a hand around your mouth, over your mouth, and a voice whispers, "No no loud noises. The orcs are out tonight."
Over telepathic, whatever ear thing. Like
You
we've been
have to reach your
compromised.
hand up to your ear to do that.
I don't have. Do I have to?
Yep.
Oh, I thought
It's
it was like
not constant. You have to actually reach your hand up to your ear to do it.
You have to be all the characters in TV shows.
I don't do.
Can we see
I do
you?
nothing, and I'm like, how strong does this guy feel or girl?
You're not sure how strong, but you could definitely feel the point is between two, between your armor. It's you can feel the point in your back proper, not in your
That's
armor.
fine. Okay, I don't need to know that. That's fine.
So after a minute, you'll know if they're stronger than you.
Oh yeah.
Why is that?
No, your enemy. After a minute of interacting with someone, you can pick a thing and know if they're better or worse than you.
That's cool.
You have that. I don't. But
Oh, I thought you had that. I thought that was a fighter thing.
I don't think I have it. I think you just took it.
Anyway,
The Battle Master thing.
Yeah,
She's a battle master too.
I am too. But we took different things. Yeah, I don't have that one.
he says, "Why don't we take a few steps back?" And he just brings you back a few steps closer to the edge. Everyone else, you guys are looking out at the figures you saw in the distance, so you don't notice this happening behind you. And the voice says, "Now I'm gonna uncover your mouth, and if you shout for your friends, you're gonna get a knife in your spleen." Is that all right?
Somebody, I'm not allowed to talk.
Hey, you can nod or shake your head.
I nod.
Okay. And he says, "How many of you are there? And how did you get into the city?" He uncovers your mouth.
I don't know how many of us there are. There's just the people here is what I know.
And he says, "And how did you get into the city?"
I actually don't know. Some kind of magic.
And he says, "All right.
Can I turn like? Can you tell me who you are and if we're friends?
And he said, he says, "I think we're on the same side here now. So I'm gonna step away, and you're not gonna pull out your sword and kill me.
You're very good with a knife. I'd much rather have you on my team. So could you just get on with the introductions? We have a lot ahead of us.
He steps back. You feel the knife come out, and he lets you turn around.
Who this?
And he says, "Oh, look at all these cool names." Name's Silric. And he says, "Master Thief," and he bows.
What kind of? Is it a human?
Yeah, he's a human.
Oh, all right.
And he turns and he whistles. He makes this like bird noise. Now everyone notices he's here.
Shit.
Lily, you absolutely have know your enemy.
I don't have it on my sheet, so
You do.
I don't have it.
You're a battle master.
All right.
Just they all have it.
And you hear a few other bird noises from the other roofs. And a bunch of little heads pop up down and around.
Girl, this is like Newsies when all the gang comes. That's cool.
And he says, back when Angate was still a city, I led the Thieves Guild here.
Oh, sweet. All right.
We've been surviving since then. And we heard you making a ruckus trying to interrogate an orc.
Well,
And we came out to take a look.
okay. I want to just say, for the record, that wasn't me. That was my idiot brother, who you should meet. He's very nice. They bungled that terribly. I agree.
And he
How
says, hold on, this isn't a good place to talk. We'll take you down below.
Okay.
He says, this way. And he goes and he moves a curtain across the thing, and there's a stairwell that leads down into the building.
Can I have my friends come?
Yeah, all of you.
Okay, I'm going to be like, hey guys, there's this guy and he controls stuff and he seems really helpful. Let's go.
You all heard him say all of that about the
Oh,
Thieves
shit.
Guild.
All right.
I'm happy to make new friends, but we want something of a clock here.
I know. Lily has a master plan of mass suggestioning all these big chaos for us.
All
Because they
right.
know what's going on way better because they've been here the whole time.
When
And
Theo says, let's go downstairs, Quoro sounds mighty amenable.
All right. Let's do it.
You all head downstairs, and he leads you down the stairs here
We've made contact with the resistance.
into this room, and then he comes over and he pulls a rug aside, and there's a big old trap door, and he opens it and gestures.
That's pretty baller.
I heard someone under the ground earlier. Was that you guys? Is that how you knew about the orc? That makes sense.
Yeah. We're not very good at the whole listening thing. We're really good at the punching people bit, though.
He says,
So,
And he says-
so you do roofs and basements.
No mainland.
and nothing in between. You all head down. He comes in behind you, and then very deftly just sort of whoop, in between each of you until he's at the front again. You're not even like he's all of a sudden in the front, and it's almost like, how did he get there?
How long have you been doing this?
And he says, my whole life. I grew up in this city.
Do you know any card tricks?
It shows.
He says, no, but, and he turns around and he reaches behind your ear and he pulls out an ace of spades. and then just turns around and keeps walking, and you're going down a stairwell.
That's technically a card trick, isn't it?
Yeah, can we be friends with him after? Can he work for us?
What was that, Theo?
I said we should be friends with him after this. He should work for us.
He eventually brings you down a hallway and into a large open cavern where you see various people around. There's crates around of things. There's cots. There's the people have set up in this cave.
Does it mostly seem like just active participants? Like there's not like families and kids.
No families and kids and things.
Everybody's dead. Just
Everyone here seems like they look roguish.
cool.
Got some levels in
Thieves Guild.
Yeah, this is entirely the Thieves Guild.
Sweet.
So cool.
Where's Dirge? Is it dick?
Dude, I was about to say, so much better than Skyrim. Fuck those guys. They're boring as shit. They're bad at everything, and all they do is whine.
Dirge, and I have a tragic backstory, just like all of my friends.
He brings you over to his corner where he's got some pillows and things and a little table with a map of the city on it. There's a few daggers in the table at various points.
Just bad for the table.
And he says, we've been sowing discord among the orcs, learning the different tribal loyalties and rivalries.
Do you think that there's enough people who are fans of Zog that they would follow him if he made a claim?
He says, we've been following Zod for some time, and, well, we think he could start a bit of chaos. We don't think he's our guy.
You have some
What do you think?
Yeah.
We're looking at... Oh, I gotta pick another name. We're looking at Gorza. Gorza is a priest of Grumsh. Grumsh, however you say the frickin' orc god name.
It's hard to say without tusks. You do this thing where you click your tongue off of it.
It's Grumsh, I think is what it is, because it's 2 U's.
You do a tongue clicking thing. Okay. Anyways, but okay, so this guy. Fair enough.
And ever since that Roospal fellow left,
Now, what do you know about him?
Gorza has been unhappy with the way that Marab has been leading things.
Okay.
And a priest of Grumsh holds much sway with the orcs.
Fair. But what do you know about this Rooseball guy? Banding the orcs together is no small feat.
Indeed. Especially for someone who's not an orc.
Right. Oh, wait, what?
And he says, Roospal is a powerful wizard. He led the armies here and he took the city.
Wait, sorry, Jake, say that again?
Roospal is a powerful wizard.
What?
Do you know what he looks like?
He pulls aside, he goes over to the pile of papers where he's got sketches, actually, of the faces of the various...
This guy is thorough AF.
orcs
Can he be, like, in charge of our
and
foreign
things.
affairs?
Yeah.
I'm, like, so serious. He's very on top of his shit.
And he flips through the papers until he finds a picture of Roospal, this, angry-looking, human or elvish, hard to tell from the picture, wizard in wizard's robes, and carrying this large, ornate staff. And he says the staff seems to be the source of his power. He can use it to sway the minds of the orcs, to use the weather in his favor, all sorts of magical power.
He doesn't happen to bear any resemblance to a certain dickish wizard that's been following us through dimensions, does he?
No, you would expect that it would be Vizerin, because it's always Vizerin.
It's always Vizerin.
This Roospal fellow does not look like Vizerin at all.
I suppose this is encouraging.
Definitely Vizerin.
What?
I said I suppose this is encouraging.
That it's not Vizerin.
No, that he's using magic to control the orcs, which means
Oh,
that
yes.
cooperation
That would be helpful right about
is
now
not
to start summoning some of this Discord.
cooperation
Yes,
is
that's a
not
good
their
point.
natural state.
I'll say to... What's this guy's name again? Something?
I gotta scroll up.
It's
This
still
is
something.
Silric.
Clearly an
S-Y-L
ancestor of another Sil.
Silric, same thing.
Sylric.
Oh man, SYL.
Yeah, Stillwalker.
Any relation?
So, you've got a pretty good pulse on the city. How quickly do you think that you could incite, like, mass violence? If you sent out everybody here to just, like, commit random acts of violence to create, like, some chaos, the orcs seem like they're attacking each other.
Random acts of violence. You think like a
Okay,
fighter.
not random, like, very strategic.
You think like a fighter. You're
Strategically
asking.
random.
You're asking for a hammer. What you want is a scalpel.
Yeah, okay, so you have your scalpel and you do this stuff. How quickly could that happen?
Can we compromise with a sword?
We could accelerate our plans, and maybe in a matter of hours, and all dependent on how the orcs are feeling.
Well, here's the slowdown. And I tell him, like, we're here with a massive army. We've got people on the bridge, dwarves. We're lowering the chain. We're trying to do this stuff. And the arena and the charcuterie board, whatever, catapult, are going to explode at the same time. So don't have your people there. And we need to get to the gates. Like,
Very interested in this charcuterie board.
How did your brain Make that connection.
I don't know. Catapult,
Trebuchet.
charcuterie.
You mix
Trebuchet
catapult and
charcuterie?
trebuchet,
Maybe
and you
there's
get
like a
to
mini one and it
charcuterie.
like shoots cheese into your mouth.
Trebu
Anyways,
Your
charcuterie.
synapses are fascinating.
it's so cute, right? Anyways,
And he says,
but my point is, we're on a time crunch.
No, we're not.
We kind of are.
What is the time crunch, Theo?
I don't know, like, we want to do this while, like,
Well, we don't want them to find the bombs that Burnham has planted.
that's what I'm saying. Like, we're on a semi-time crunch of that. And those guys in the fort are waiting on us, and they're already really low on supplies, so, like, we're in a semi-time crunch.
I'm saying we don't have weeks to destabilize the economy.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly what I'm trying to say. So I'm saying,
and he
do
says,
you want to work with us? I feel
this
like
is-
this could be good.
well, it's in our benefit then that the Orcish economy has already been destabilized.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so what's that whole
Or
like
can, by
Nicole wants to know.
He says,
Is there like a blood infection going around?
Roostball's been able to unite the orcs, but they fled south much before Roostball led them.
they fled south. What would scare an orc?
Sorry, no, fled is the wrong. This is Jake. Fled is the
Dragonborn
wrong
one.
verb.
Oh.
Flooded south.
Oh, they expanded south.
And he says,
Okay.
have you heard of this thing called blood debt?
I've heard that
Oh.
around the city.
And he says, it's the Orcish currency. Comes from their gods, as far as we can tell.
Ah.
The gods grant them favor, and in exchange, they have to kill humans, elves, dragonborn.
So you said this Groza dude was tight with a god. You think that he might offer the orcs a way to get their blood mojo back?
And he says, the relationship is the opposite, in fact. Groomsh provides blood debt to the orcs in exchange for godly favor.
Are you planning to cause hyperinflation?
And he says, as far as we can tell, the orcs have already, their economy has already been hyperinflated.
Oh, that's really bad.
That's why they've been killing for these last few years.
Silric, if I might interject, what is your plan and
There's
how
gonna be a
can we
blood
help
bubble.
you? Our plan is to reconquer the city, and that's easiest if they are in disarray.
And he says,
You have 6, 5 here, 1 more somewhere else, of some of the most capable fighters on the continent. You said we're blunt instruments, but we are very, very good blunt instruments.
and he
Even
says,
if we do jump off roofs into each other.
You're the man who knows which door needs to be smashed.
look,
You didn't see that, did you?
if you're gonna
I'm sure they did.
get these dwarves and these armies into the city, we can sow discord.
Excellent.
We've already got our strings in the right places, and all we got to do is pull.
Does this guy seem like he needs extra convincing?
No?
Okay. Like, is it time to do mass suggestion?
He seems amenable to this already. He wants his city back.
How do the bitches seem? His bitches.
What do you mean?
Like, are they be loyal and they'll, like, do what he says?
They seem V-loyal.
Cool. Sweet. Awesome.
I would like to extend my hand. to
6
shake his
fighters
hand.
against a Star Destroyer?
And he says, it's nice working with you.
I say, look us up after we take the city. We may have a position. We may have more work for you.
And he says, oh, if we take this city back, I think I'll have just the position I want.
Still, if nothing else, we'll have a drink together.
And he says,
That guy should be our spy master.
Yeah, he's fucking lit.
he
He's
says,
great.
I can often be found at Jack Angate's first and last chance.
I'll see you there.
He gestures towards the exit.
If at any
Um,
point in the conversation this guy seems to like question our authenticity, Arid and I whip out our like Rune Master new letters that are dope as fuck.
He has no
Just
question
saying.
of your authenticity.
I just feel like I'm trigger happy about this new letter. And I want to show it to people.
We actually should probably get some proof that we're legitimately working for an army and not just blacksmiths.
Can I say one last thing to him before we go?
Yeah.
I say, we're going to the palace, right? We're going to take a position there.
Yeah.
I say, we're going to the palace to secure the chain. once your plan has been put into action, can you get in contact with us?
He says,
Any kind of signal will do.
well, I have a variety of signals at my disposal. What kind were you thinking of?
Anything that would let us know that your plan has worked and that we should attack the palace and secure that end of the chain so that the dwarves may rush in from the north, may begin their invasion.
He points on the map to the temple that is at the top of the cliff in the upper city.
Mm-hmm.
Right here. I'll show the viewers that. And he says, look for the light of a green flame
Green flame?
in the upper window of the temple.
Okay.
It can be
First
seen
light,
all over the
fifth day.
lower city.
To the south.
Fantastic.
I like triple ultra mega confirm with him. Like, do not have yo bitches in the arena or the catapult areas because
Boom.
He says, we understand.
you'll be like triple ultra mega confirm.
I triple mega ultra understand.
Ooh, we're underground. Can Burnham hear us?
Is that you?
Yeah, we're here.
Oh, good. I'm making great progress. Where are
How
you
much
at?
longer do you think it'll be?
And he says, another 30, 40 minutes.
Oh, great. Awesome. We are going to be in position soon and give you a signal.
And he says,
Um,
where are you at?
We're headed
We're
to
not
the guard palace. I tell him what I can now that we have a good connection.
You're underground. You're heading towards the palace.
Yep.
And he says, if you can get to the sewer tunnels from there, I might be able to meet up with you.
Oh, great.
Perfect.
And he says, I'll meet you under the theater.
Okay.
Oh, also, we made friends. If you meet any roguish people, tell them hi.
And don't kill them.
Yeah.
Specifically, don't kill them.
All right, then.
The password is Ace of Spades.
All right.
Yeah, the challenge is Theo. The response is Aridin.
Flash, thunder.
Yeah.
No. The password we should tell them that password is Ace of Spades. It's like pulling a prank on Amos. Ace of Spades. Then he's gonna want to be like Ace of Spades, and they'll be like, what?
So you get some directions from some of the rogues, and you start making your way down through the sewers to head towards the governor's palace. And I think that is where we're going to leave you tonight. Thank you, friends, for watching. Please do, message the page, comment on the video, give us your feedback, let us know what you like or don't. My players, please do message me tonight with your rose, thorn, bud. That is the thing you liked, the thing you didn't like, and the thing you are looking forward to. We'll be back next week at our usual time, which is to say Wednesdays at 7:15 Pacific. Today is a bit of a fluke that we played on Thursday. Lincoln, would you like to talk about your thing?
I will on Monday. Tune in at 7:15, the same bat time, same bat channel, different bat show for episode 15 of Into the Black.
Yep.
Where we see how our players deal with being deprived of their ship on a desert planet, surrounded by bandits, enemies, and cultists with just their guns, their wits, and their steeds to protect them.
All right. And with that, we will see you all next week. Bye-bye now.